I'm from Littleton, Colorado myself, and I personally know a lot of the students and parents who were affected that day in the shootings. You were asked by at least one of the families to become involved in that. What was your involvement in?
I filed a lawsuit on behalf of one of the kids. And my fundamental claim was that one of the drugs this boy, Harris, was taking, my lawsuit claimed then that one of the major effects of this particular drug causes teenagers particularly to be suicidal. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
And to make a long story short, of course, you're fighting Solvay was the drug company involved. They manufacture whatever the drugs are.
Can you spell that?
Solvay. I don't. Anyway, and of course the drug companies fight it with a passion and bring in the toughest people in the world. I kept battling, but the amazing thing to me is the careful control. As I say, this is why I've become a little cynical about government, because it seems that at key places there are government officials that don't always do what the people need and want and should receive. Unfortunately and tragically, and I hope it changes someday, I can't talk about certain things. I'm the only person who's taken a deposition of the Harris family, of the doctors that were treating this young boy, and I'm the only one who's seen, other than certain certain officials, all kinds of things in this case that are now sealed, and they're trying to be destroyed, as you know. And in fact, I had 2 federal marshals show up in my office, law office, when the judge ordered these things sealed and record destroyed, to go through my files to take copies of, if you can believe it, certain depositions I had taken. So all I can do now, because I finally stepped out of the lawsuit and the kid settled for, got a settlement of a few $1,000s or something that's secret and whatever. My claim there that these drugs cause a certain amount of children to be very suicidal. Where they just want to do it in a dramatic fashion and so on and so forth. And just study the whole picture of what actually happened there in Columbine. And if they ever release or don't destroy all the records on this case, I think you'll find that that is the most accurate lawsuit that was ever filed on this whole thing. But what is most interesting, once the lawsuit was dismissed, and their penny dollars they paid the kid, once that was done, what has happened since then? The federal government and the drug companies have all reached agreements that on these particular drugs now, these antidepressant drugs, they have to put all kinds of big notices, and that's the first big notice there is on the drug about how they cause suicide in children, so on and so forth, young people. You do know that, right? You can't pick any of those major ones now that isn't there. And I have no doubt that someday, now this is my opinion, so district court officials, you can't do anything, this is my belief and opinion, personal, okay, from just everything. I have no doubt that the drugs were a major factor in this boy committing suicide and, contrary to what most people maybe know or think, executing his own buddy, Klebold there, killing him when Klebold didn't want to die. And you just had to see all these basement tapes they made and know the whole story, and you'd have no doubt. But those are the things they won't release or let the public have, and they keep talking about destroying, and I don't know how much has been destroyed now, but if you ever saw those basement tapes and all that stuff, you would have no doubt.
No, I thought the official story was that they each committed suicide individually.
And my answer to that is bullshit.
All right. Thank you for that.
Mr. Klebold, Mr. Harris was there. I think Mr. Klebold maybe wasn't quite as willing to blow his own brains out, so Mr. Harris, I believe, helped him. Was I there? No. Did I see it? No. I'm just going on the basis of
I thought
a lot
you
of
did see
factors.
some of the tapes from the high school.
I saw all the stuff. All the stuff, including the basement tapes, including this, including that. I'm just telling you what I believe. I believe. Anyway, there's no doubt in my mind that the key factor. See, Mr. Harris, the boy, had learned to manipulate even the drugs, double up and triple up, and then go off them for a few days, and get the exciting effects of this and that, and feel like King Kong, you can kill anybody, and he learned the whole mechanism. Has any of that ever come out? No.
In the video games?
The video games, of course, my lawsuit also involved that, by the way. How they lived and breathed those video games. They were real for them.